Suicide or murder? Texas mother Nichol Olsen and her two daughters were found dead inside their $1 million mansion. The medical examiner ruled Nichole's death a suicide and her daughter's deaths homicides, but friends and family aren't buying it. And now the FBI is joining the investigation.
It appears that all three are deceased due to gunshot wounds to the upper parts of their body.
37-year-old hairdresser Nichol Olsen and her daughters, Alexa and London, were found shot to death inside their luxury home located in a quiet gated San Antonio neighborhood. Police say Nichole's boyfriend, Charles Wheeler, who lived with Nichol and her daughters at his sprawling estate, reportedly spent the night out of town after an argument with Nichol. Wheeler, who owns an oil rigging business, discovered their bodies when he returned home the next morning. He is considered a person of interest, but has not been named a suspect. The violent deaths of both 16-year-old cheerleader Alexa and her 10-year-old sister London were ruled homicides by the county medical examiner, while Nichole's death was determined to be a suicide. But although a gun was recovered near Nichole's body, no suicide note was found. The ruling came as a shock to Nichole's family and friends, who insist the devoted mother would never harm her children or herself.
We know she didn't do it. It's that easy. Her girls were everything to her. She is a woman that is so strong and so fierce and would do anything to protect her girls.
Investigators aren't convinced Nichol was a suicidal killer either.
Our investigation may concur with the medical examiners, or we may find something through the course of our investigation that may change that finding altogether. And so this case is definitely far from over.
And joining us now is crimeonline.com's Nancy Grace. And Nancy, now investigators are saying this may be the work of a killer who's on no one's radar. Where do you think this investigation is headed?
Where do I think it's headed? It's headed toward a homicide investigation. And I think a lot will depend on the trajectory path of the bullets that killed these three, a mother and two little girls, 10 and 16.
Nancy, what do we know about Nichole's boyfriend, Charles Wheeler? He's been called a person of interest in this case.
Right. Charles Wheeler, about 31 years old, has been named as a person of interest, not a suspect. He had been dating the mom, the victim, Nichol, for about a year. This was his mansion there in Aquafina Springs. But he was coincidentally away at a relative's home that night, showed up around 9 a.m. the next morning to find the bodies.
We'll keep our eye on this case as always, Nancy. Thanks for being with us.